Streamed live on Twitch at Lord Brandon 10.
What is up, YouTube? We are back, and in today's video, we are just going to be going in and sharing my thoughts on the recent closed beta that we had for Destiny Rising. We're also going to be going over some of the other people who played Destiny Rising as well, and just going over their thoughts and just seeing what people are saying. And yeah, let's go and hop into it. So, the Destiny Rising was amazing. Hands down, probably one of the best betas I've ever played for Destiny. We had a lot of content to go through and play. The story was 10 out of 10, especially when you get to the Red Sea and you're playing the story, and there was parts where like your guardian dies, your ghost wasn't able to resurrect your guardian, and the fact that you get to play your ghost was one of the best things I think I've ever saw in Destiny, period. The gunplay was amazing. I like the fact how we went to having 3 weapons to actually having 2 weapons, so we kind of eliminated that whole energy slot. And so you have a primary ammo system, and now you have a heavy ammo system. And that was amazing. So let's just go and jump in and see what some of the other people are saying. So we have the first one coming from Mr. Oren.Stark. He says here, add loadouts for artifacts so we can easily switch between sets. I think that's a great idea coming from Destiny 2, where we're in the middle of an encounter or whatever, and we have like an add clear setup, and then we're going to be, we're getting ready to start damage. We can easily swap to our DPS loadout in just a click of a button. I think loadouts would be a really great thing in this game. So I would love to see something like that incorporated. Going on to the next comment here, we have Nova the War Priest. He says Pinnacle Energy should refill either the full amount at daily reset or 90 every 4 hours. Characters should not be locked to 2 weapons only. It leads to less incentive to pull a character if they are locked to weapons a player dislikes. I have stressed about this on stream so much with the Pinnacle Energy. For those of you who are unaware, Destiny Rising has a Pinnacle Energy system. So at every daily reset, which is 7 a.m. Eastern, you receive 120 Pinnacle Energy that you can use for essentially every activity. And just about every activity in the beta costs 20 Pinnacle. So you're limited on the amount of runs that you can do daily because of the Pinnacle Energy system. And it was so frustrating because, like, if you just were wanting to level your character, but you didn't have enough of the materials to level, whatever character you were working on, you have to go and do the legacy activity, and it costs 20 Pinnacle just to get regular materials. And that was so frustrating because now you don't have Pinnacle Energy to go out and run, the raid, the gauntlets, and have a higher chance at getting the exotic. And so that was kind of disappointing for me, because I like to spend a lot of time, obviously, grinding and, leveling characters. And the fact that I had to find that balance on what to spend my Pinnacle Energy on a day was just a little annoying. And the fact that you couldn't buy more, or the fact that you couldn't, that there was no waiting interval, you had to wait a full 24 hours before it would give you more, was just a little disappointing. So I would definitely love to see that change, whether, we do what Nova is saying here, we get at least 90 every 4 hours or something to that effect, to where if you're grinding, hey, if I do this for a couple hours, I'll get more, so that way I can stagger this next activity for the remainder of my day, or whatever the case. I would love to see the Pinnacle Energy system get definitely reworked from the ground up, and see what we can do to incentivize that a lot more. So now moving to the next comment, coming from the GOAT Callum_DX. He says, please make more exotic quests. While the grind and dopamine when hitting the 1% is amazing, quests where we either build and learn about the exotic we are about to use can really enhance the world building and get players more attached to their gear. How do I feel about this? I do definitely think we need more exotic quests. Now, granted, we didn't see a whole lot during the beta. We had like one exotic weapon quest that was for the heavy GL for Wolf. So I would imagine there may be more when the actual game does drop. But I would love to see some more quests where you can go out, like each character has their own, like each tier 5 character has like a exotic quest line that you can achieve. You know, just giving players more of a chance to earn more exotics, because right now in the beta, getting exotics, it's hard, but it's great. Like the grind to get exotics is back. It's not like Destiny 2 where you can do a strike and you're getting 3 exotic engrams a strike. So I definitely love the grind in this game, but yeah, I do agree. Exotic quest or, you know, something to that effect would definitely be great. Yeah, so with that, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next comment from the GOAT, Rain. And Rain states here, please enable the option for players to enter any activity without matchmaking. For example, if players want to enter Calamity Ops or Gauntlet Ops solo, please enable them to do so. I agree with this 1000%. I literally, if you guys didn't see the video that I did a trio Onslaught, the final boss, I forgot his name. I like doing, you know, challenges like that with Lomans. And the fact that we weren't able to launch it with just the 3 of us, we actually had to go out and find a 4th, and then we had to ask the 4th to back out, was a little bit annoying, to be honest. And then most of the time the queues were dead, so it took us 30 minutes to even find the 4th, and then when we did find that 4th, we had to ask him to back out, and then he didn't even get to run it. So I feel bad for that guy. So yeah, Destiny Rising, if you're watching this video, please add the option for people like me who like doing challenges like that, coming from Destiny 2, like doing Lomans and stuff like that. Please add that option for us. That would be really, really amazing if you did. So with that, we're gonna move on to the next suggestion here, coming from Ethan955. Ethan says, make it so you can choose the Gauntlet Onslaught exotics from the choice engram when you own them. It is already frustrating enough to get 1 from any of the encounters. It will be terrible getting 4 from one encounter. Now, for those of you who are not aware, Destiny Rising introduces a new system that is not currently present in Destiny 2 with the current engram system that we have, and that is essentially where certain mythic engrams, or excuse me, certain engrams have choice engrams. So if you get one of those choice engrams, you're actually able to choose what reward you want out of those choice engrams. So to my understanding, I wasn't, unfortunately, I wasn't able to take advantage of the 0.1% or the 1% drop rate from Onslaught, so I wouldn't know. But if I'm understanding this correctly, if you're running the Gauntlet Onslaught, it appears to be that it is not a choice engram, therefore it is a random drop for whatever it may be in that particular encounter. So Ethan is essentially saying, if we do get lucky and we do get that 1%, giving us the ability to have a choice engram for when it does drop, so we can at least choose the loot that we want, seeing that it's at that 1%. And I agree. I feel like if you're gonna keep it at 1%, which I don't mind it being at 1%, that brings the grind to the exotics. I feel like if you're gonna keep it there, at least give the player the option to, if they are lucky enough, give them the option to at least choose what exotic it is that they are going to be getting. So that is a great suggestion coming from Ethan. Moving to the next suggestion here, coming from Naze. He says, with unique pack rally rolls coming, as well as account binding for official launch rewards, Let closed beta players have the option to retain their username for official launch. I would love this. Because I don't want no one taking my name, even though I don't think someone will take my name. I would definitely think that is definitely a great idea. Something funny though, maybe they want to look into this here. I actually came across Dado. If you guys didn't see my tweet, I actually ran into a fake Dado in the actual game. I thought it was really unique. He sent me a DM, and then I sent him a DM back. I said, "Hey, is this the real Dado?" And then he started sending me these DMs of Dado from like one of his raid guy videos. It was the craziest thing ever. So definitely something they can look into. I would love to keep my same username. Moving into the next comment here, coming from Zombies. It says here, allow Wolf to be a Titan or Warlock, as well as seeing how they can be a man or a woman with a variety of hair colors. This would cement Wolf as her own character. So I don't know, I'm kind of feeling a little mixed on this. I would agree with his comment if that means allowing Wolf's abilities being the same, if that makes sense. So if you are able to choose Wolf to be like, let's say, a Titan, of course give him like a Titan jump, but let him keep the same abilities. I don't think the abilities should be different just because he's a Titan, if that makes sense. You know, so I agree with what he's saying, but don't change the abilities. Keep Wolf the same, keep the voices or whatever the same, but give him like a Titan jump or a Warlock jump or a Hunter jump or whatever, but let him have the same abilities. I do agree with this statement there. I don't know if that's something they would do, but that would be pretty interesting if they did that. If they did do that, excuse me. Moving on to the next suggestion coming from Oren again. He says here, artifacts. Too many sets that do very similar things. Need to trim it down. I have been an advocate for this and more literally since the launch of the closed beta. The whole artifact system, in my opinion, just does not make sense whatsoever. That's a whole different video on its own. There's a guy that does YouTube named Virus. You guys can go watch one of his videos. He put out a really good video breaking down the whole artifact system. So I'm not going to get into it here. But yeah, the whole artifact system, even when it comes to the power, it is just so annoying. I would love to see the artifact system get reworked to where it actually makes sense and things actually make sense with the artifacts, because right now it's disgusting. Like, my least favorite thing from this beta was the artifacts. So yeah, love to see that get reworked if we can make that happen. Another one coming from Oren here, saying that basic rewards feel really bad. Allow players to farm legendary grade materials to their heart's content, as we are still limited by exotic grade materials, so it won't hurt monetization at all. I agree with this 1000%. Guys, in the beta, I would be doing, let's say, an onslaught, because I was farming for the exotic. Of course, I had no pinnacle energy. By the time I finished that encounter, I would only get 30 glimmer. You heard that right. 30 glimmer. So you're telling me if I'm teaching 3 people how to do the encounter because they didn't look up a raid guide before going in, and I spend 30 minutes on that encounter just to get 30 glimmer, it does not feel rewarding whatsoever. They need to restructure the entire reward system, period. Whether that's in onslaught, whether that's in strikes, whether that's in whatever, they need to rebuild that system, because I was so disappointed. Excuse me, I was so disappointed. Like, yeah, there was times where I was dipping out of runs. Like if we weren't getting it on the third try, I was dipping out because it's a 5-minute encounter, and if I have no Pinnacle energy and I'm only gonna get 30 Glimmer, I was dipping because it just was not worth running. So NetEase, please, please, please re-look at that system. Now, coming in with our very last suggestion, coming from Callum_DX again. He says, please make Gauntlet Onslaught more distinct from Gauntlet Blitz. A way to do that would be making Onslaught more like Destiny raids, where every encounter is completed in chronological order, which would then unlock each encounter checkpoint individually to then be like it is now. Players would queue up and would automatically be teleported from encounter to encounter as a persistent fire team, thus reducing the amount of empty queuing between each encounter. However, to incentive a full run, please thus make the first chest from each encounter free from any Pinnacle energy cost or weekly boost costs, thus not harming those who want to continue farming for certain mythicals or exotics from any given encounter, while helping those who just want to clear per week and see all encounters, as they will find a fire team easier. I agree with this 1000%. However, I think the empty queuing was just because it was the closed beta. But I agree, like let's say you want to do a fresh run, like start to finish, put that incentive in there, like, hey, if you do this from start to finish instead of just farming, let's say, the second encounter for the sidearms for Gwen, do a full run. We'll give you your first Pinnacle for each chest for free for that week. I think that's a great incentive. I really do, and I think that will bring, one, it draws more players into it, right? And two, it promotes helping other light bearers out there. So I think that is a great idea. Definitely a great idea. I would love to see them incorporate that. But that is it, guys, for the suggestions that I have here. Overall, Destiny Rising, I think it's going to be a great game. I think if they just fine-tune the things that we talked about, definitely fine-tuning the Pinnacle energy system, rebuilding that into a more approachable stance for, like players who are just free to play, rebuilding the what was it about? I forgot what I was about to say, but just rebuilding some of those key points that we talked about. The game is perfect. I mean, just rebuilding those and fine-tuning them, the game is literally going to be amazing. And I come from Destiny 2, where I've been playing since D1 Alpha. I've played D2 Beta. I've been playing Destiny for like the last 10, 11 years now. And I'm telling you guys, Destiny Rising has a lot of potential. It has a lot of potential. I was on this game during the Rite of the Nine event in Destiny 2. And I'll tell you what, guys, I literally did not play like 2 weeks worth of Rite of the Nine just because I was hooked on Destiny Rising. So this game has the potential to win over some of the Destiny 2 PvE addicts and to be that game. The story was amazing. The gunplay was amazing. Everything about this game is amazing. They just have to fine-tune a couple things, and I think you've got a perfect game. I really do. So with that, if you guys want to see another one of these videos, let me know in the comments down below. Like the video, subscribe, and as always, guys, I love you guys. Thank you for watching the video and supporting me. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Take care.